Just buy one on eBay for $400? David didn't lose a remote, but he knew someone who did, and he has never met her face to face until now. Hey, now it works.
Hi.
Awesome. Hello. How you doing?
I'm sorry. My dog ran off. I had to go chase her. They're kind of buttholes after the crash. They probably need therapy too. Sorry. I'm still sporting some shiners.
You're good.
I'm a walking joke.
I'm gonna check a couple of audio levels before, but yeah, I'm so glad that you jumped on here.
Yeah. How's your day?
Yeah, good. Very good. Had a grad school orientation.
Had a what orientation?
Grad school orientation.
Oh, grad school. What are you studying?
It's complicated. I'll send the video after because it will put a lot more into context.
Okay. I can do complicated. I have a few college degrees. Don't judge my typos. I'm just lazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to find the
This is New
optimal audio
Mexico.
level. This
I
might
live
be
in a
fine.
postcard.
You live in a postcard.
I do. New Mexico is pretty amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that the audio levels are fine because I'm talking, I can hear me. You're talking, I can hear you. The camera can hear you.
Yay.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Sick. Yeah. So, I originally wanted to have this call with the intention that I get to see you unbox your new remote.
Yeah.
Now that we
I'll
have, now
call
that we
you.
know that's kind of, sorry.
I'll take video and send it to you if you want, for sure.
Yeah.
I've been stalking. I've been like looking at it. I really just want to go skate. And it said yesterday. That was, I mean, from Canada. I'm grateful. Whenever it shows up, it shows up. Yay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I got my.
But yeah, I guess more. I think that the what I really wanted to share. So like I'll put a little more into context of like the video that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
So I'm I'm trying to like make a video about Eastgate and leadership and how like in Eastgate a lot of us like we just look out for each other because like on group rides and whatever, like we're not paid to do it, we just kind of do it because we we understand something about each other, about about staying safe on the roads, and in
Right.
this case about losing a remote.
I can tell you how I got this board. I've been like skating for a long time. I'm one of those girls. And so a friend who is a super technophile has like drones and all these skateboards and all this stuff. And I wanted to get a board. I didn't have $1,000 to get a boosted Mini X, but he had one sitting around, and so he sold it to me for $500.
Dang.
Like practically brand new, right? And so I maybe put 15 hours on it, and just I can't tell you like how much you understand like what it's like to just be free and go do your thing. So it was like really tragic that I lost their controller. It's like that's like $40, $100. No,
It's
like
$400.
$500, $400. I was like in tears on the couch. So the guy who sold me the board like understands, like he has like a ton of them. He owns a tattoo shop, so he has resources to have toys like this. I don't. And he did me a favor. He didn't even want to sell it. So, and there's like a ton of people that I see. There's like electric scooters, and there's a few people that have like the mono wheel things. I don't know. It's different for me. Just commuting. I've like ran into a few people like, what's up? Hi. We're like similar. We're doing our own thing. There's like less separation, if you will, like cars and things. I don't know. It's fun, but there's all, yeah, you're right. There's a connection. People who get the adrenaline bug and like want to go, I don't know. I really think that electric personal transportation is going to be the future. So That's hopeful and exciting. It's fun. It's my therapy. I have ran into a handful of people here and there. There's not a lot of organized skates here, but there is definitely a hive mind, collectivism, right? Something to like find commonality in, which we miss a lot these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And like honestly, I came across a lot of posts like yours, like, hey, I lost my remote, like I need to buy one. And then I in the earlier days, like right after Boosted went out of business, like a lot we were kind of scrambling, like because like we didn't know anybody, and we got in touch with a couple of people from China that lived close to the factories, which is how we got our first like 100 or so remotes. Um,
Oh,
and after that, like it just dried up. And
yeah.
actually, I kind of want to know, like, how much did you think that this was a scam at first?
Um, from you,
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't think it was a scam.
Okay. I would have been
Honestly,
super
because
sketched
the
out
platform,
if I were
well,
you.
the platform that I reached out on was like Facebook, a small like electric skateboarding group. Like I literally was home that night. Like you have no idea like what this crash did to my life. It's like totally changed my life in so many ways. Probably for the best, probably for the worst. I don't know, but I barefoot, worried about like my dogs, trying to dig through this totaled vehicle, literally cut my hands up trying to find my wallet. Didn't have shoes. Like the worst of my life. My daughter's guitar was destroyed, and the boosted's fine, but I couldn't find the remote. And I'm digging and digging. I'm pulling panels out, and there's like glass there. I have no shoes. I'm puking. There's staples in my head, and I couldn't find the remote. I gave up. And so I thought, I'll buy a new one, $40, right? I know Boosted's out of deal. The guy gave me some extra belts, and I don't know why this board would need riser pads, but he's a 3D printer, super tech person, printed out stuff. Grateful. And I got home that night, and the first thing that I thought of was, okay, guitar, replaceable. What am I going to do with this board? How am I going to get a new remote? $40 probably. So I'm online. There's all these aftermarket remotes, but they're not going to work. I'm grateful for the community because I reached out. I'm smart. Electronics aren't my thing. I can fix your car, cook you dinner, dress your wounds. I'm an ICU nurse, on top of other things. But electronics, they're invisible. I can't. I could if I wanted to, but I don't. So I'm like, that's a piece of plastic and some circuits. And I think I understand like the quality of the board. I understand, I don't want to say cult following, but I understand like the loyalty or they really did a lot for the e-community as far as skating goes. So I understand people wanting to hang on to parts, not knowing what's going to happen, but seriously, $450 for a controller. Right. Like, I was just like laying on the couch, staples in my head, bleeding, crying. My whole life is dead. Nothing matters. Can someone help me? Like, that's where I was. And like, I don't mean to be dramatic, but that is how much this board means to me. It's like my freedom. It is. I named it attitude adjustment. So my very recent ex, his was named anger management. He has an own board. So we take anger management and attitude adjustment. That was my daughter. We take them out to, there's like a mall like a few blocks from my house, the smoothest pavement. We've like figured out like the best lines, all the speed bumps. We fight and go and like skate it out and skate with our regular boards on our backpacks to the skate park and grind it out in the bowl. And it was just like, so I had a breakup and I lost my board and I had like a breakdown. And I really seriously can't tell you how much it means to me to be able to, I'm looking at like parting out and sorry, my daughter's very persistent. She needs to wait. I was looking at like parting it out. Like, I don't want to gouge people and take their money. Like, you need a battery. Like, this thing's, the wheels are still pretty new. I dropped one curb. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I was looking at like ordering a new board. I was totally obsessed with it. And then you showed up, like, I might be able to help you. I was like, I'll take anything. And again, I don't mean to be dramatic, but, man, that guitar and that skateboard and my dogs, through everything I've been through this year, my mom died. I've had like a crazy relationship. We have a pandemic. I am raising two tween daughters. There's custody. It's just been like my solace and my freedom. Just to, fuck it, I get up at 2 a.m. I'm just going to go jam around, go really fast, you know? And that was like gone on top of my instrument. It was a rental vehicle. Like I have stitches are out of my head. I still, like I said, I'm a walking joke. 2 black eyes. I got told twice. Terrible taste, but it's been a lot, and I'm just looking at this board sitting here like, what do I do? So I really appreciate it. I didn't think it was a scam. I mean, if it was, whatever.
Yeah, I think that I think you nailed it. Like as in terms of like what this board really means, because I spent a lot of nights in undergrad 2 years ago just like tinkering away at my stupid skateboard that I bought like some really cheap parts from China, tried to hack it all together, do it cheaper, and like I remember my roommate, he watched me do all of this, and how much tremendous amount of time it took for me to just even get it working, and
Mm-hmm.
I like it worked for like a week, and then after that it just broke, and it took away my freedom. I totally understand, and I think that's what really compelled me to reach out and help, because I know what it feels like to not be able to ride,
Yeah.
and it's not that you can't push a skateboard. Of course you can, but that's not the point. Like it's an
Right.
experience of it's about I tell people I'm from the future in a joking way, but also
I,
in a very real way, not in the sense that I'm a time traveler, but in the sense that I see where things are and I see where things could be, and I want to live where things could be as much as I can and take the world for a ride while I'm at it. And Eastgate is absolutely one of those things where I can share my enthusiasm for something that seems a little geeky, seems a little nerdy, but it's also something super duper practical. Hopefully, one day
yeah.
it becomes a lot more practical, and I I want to share my enthusiasm for it because I believe it is a future in some ways, and in some ways it might not be. And the but that's not the point of me like riding every single day. The point of me riding every single day is for me to well, in some ways, spread positivity, but it's also for me to,
Yeah.
it's also for me, it's literally empowering me to get where I want to go without, without dealing with parking, without, like, it gets me where, it gets me to enjoy the process of getting there rather than um,
Yeah. So
seeing the
for me,
process of getting there as a nuisance.
I come from a long line of like snowboarding and skateboarding and BMXing and downhill mountain biking. I'm a mechanic. I used to be a pro mechanic for a small team in Santa Fe. Um, so I've kind of like grown up an adrenaline junkie, and for me, like the e-board, it reminds me more of snowboarding or surfing than anything because I can just carve, and the remote's like the gravity, but it's just like free. I can't find the word to express what it is, but you're right. There is this functionality to it. Me and my ex, we would ride around on our boards. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's good block, bad block. Make friends with people who don't have homes because they are people and they may help you out someday. But we tend to like go out and just like hand out on a skateboard bottles of frozen water. It's like 100 plus degrees. A bottle of frozen water is not going to save anybody's life, but it might keep somebody from getting a heat stroke. Popsicles, peanut butter and jelly, socks. Like I used to drive around in my van and do it. My kids would hang out the window, but some of the philanthropy that I want to do is so much more accessible with my board because I can get like down the alleys and I'm safe. I know some martial arts and Jill of all trades. I'm well rounded.
Jill of all
I,
trades,
I'm,
yes,
I
absolutely.
have any qualms about going up to a camp of homeless people and feeding them. But the board has like really helped me do that too. Also, like it's just like really fun. I've like put my kids on it and like made them sit down and like run the remote down the street and back. It's there's like so many layers of why I love my e-board. I still love my regular board. It's not as nice to me. It doesn't go as fast. So there's a lot of layers of like why it's desirable. Um, and I am so grateful to have the opportunity to ride this thing again. And I was looking at buying a new one. Like if this didn't happen, I'm not done. I'm not done, clearly. I mean, I'll put stickers on this thing. I got my favorite like mixtape sticker. um, yeah, so it's been so. I'm a poet and a storyteller, so I tend to talk too much. So forgive me. They actually pay me to run my mouth. That's gone. Okay, I can't go do an open mic. I can't host a storytelling workshop. There's a lot of stuff that we can't do. So I've really, with my mental health and we all have mental issues, but with like the depression and the pandemic and losing some of the social stuff that I'm used to doing, I've tried to focus on what I have, what I still have, and what I still can do. And that's like music, skating, philanthropy, and I went on this retreat to deal with the breakup and try to, I don't know, etch a sketch, and I just went on a week away. I'm an adult. I can do that, you know? I went out in the desert in the middle of nowhere and, like, swam in a creek and rode this board down Sedona washboard roads. There's probably still, like, some pink dust on it. And those are the things that I took. So this is how important this is to my life. I took my 2 dogs. I took an extra cell phone to stay in touch with my children. I took minimal food. I took my guitar, my e-board, and like I don't know what was in that bag of laundry. Just like whatever. I'm clearly not like a high maintenance girl. So it was like my board, my guitar, my dogs, and like I left, and I come back from what was supposed to be like a really rebirthing or positive experience, and it was like the worst thing that ever happened to me. It's horrible.
I'm glad you get a chance to like kind of laugh at it now, though. Just
Laughing,
like
yeah, you have to.
like the roller coaster of like you thought it
I
was gonna
got
be so
rear-ended by
great,
a
and
semi.
then
I got rear-ended by a semi truck. It was insane. And the situation was, it was like 2 a.m. I'm on I-40 coming out of Gallup, New Mexico, and I see like this something. It's like meat on the side of the road, and then there's more, and there's bones, and there's like my mind is like playing it back. It's like the size of a refrigerator. This big piece of meat. I can see my light reflecting off of it. It's like shiny and fresh. And there's a police officer pulled off on the other side of the highway with his lights on, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm getting into, and I'm slowing down. And then bump, and then everything is black. They say that your life flashes before your eyes. No, that could have been it. Bump, that was it. Black. And then I'm like scrambling on the highway. You can't find my shoes, can't find nothing, can't find my dog. There's like bones and meat. It was like probably one of the worst situations that you could put a person who has PTSD into. Like I was charge nurse at ICU for 8 years here, so I have a little trauma. Hard time sleeping. I have a service dog for that. My service dog was ejected. Couldn't. It was just like the biggest nightmare. And like I get home, I'm home like 24 hours later on my couch. By the grace of whatever, I had friends like drive 2 hours to pick me up. That was a nightmare too. And I'm sitting here just like crying. Like all I wanted to do was like go skate. I just like wanted to like get on my board and just like go down the street and feel the wind in my hair and just like forget everything. I'm not saying that skating or any other form of, I mean, like poetry and open mic is kind of escapism. Skating for me isn't escapism. It's more, it grounds me more than I escape from my stuff. I had a friend who used to tell me, like, when I have anxiety, wiggle your toes. That's where the ground is. So, get on your board. That's where the ground is. And, I mean, it's been 2 weeks. It feels like forever. I'm excited. I'm super grateful. I have a huge box of stuff to send you. Do you like spicy food? What do you like? Like, Mexico has some cool stuff. Are you in Texas? Where are you?
I am all the way in Indiana.
You're in Indiana? I grew up in Kentucky. What part of Indiana are you in? This is like such like dry. Sorry.
South Bend.
Where?
South Bend is like near Michigan.
Okay, so you're north or?
Very much north.
Oof. Yeah, I grew up in Lexington. There's like Lexington, Louisville, and Indianapolis. People in Louisville.
Frozen.
Embarrass myself. So people, there's like Lexington and Louisville. They have like this basketball rivalry. I don't know, college basketball, rednecks, whatever, Midwest. I left at 18 for a reason. So people in Lexington call Louisville Indieki, and people in Louisville call that area Kentuckiana. So I don't know. I told it wrong. I'm bad at jokes. Indiana, dang. So what can I send you? That's like, yeah, there's bars on my window. I live in Albuquerque. There's stucco. The architecture is totally different here. The landscape, everything's totally different. I grew up kind of in that area. But do you like spicy food? I can send you some.
Absolutely. I will absolutely take
I'm
whatever spicy food.
totally gonna hook you up. You're just gonna get like random crap showing up in your mail forever. I love snail mail. I love like random connections. I used to when I was younger. I used to travel and I would grab back in the day. I'm 40. I'm old. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, I might date myself. I would grab one of those little phone books that they had, the thick ones, and I would just like rip a few pages out, and I would like get on a plane and go to Mexico or Costa Rica or somewhere, and just look up somebody's name and just send them postcards. Pura vida, yes. Ticos, yeah. You've been to Costa Rica?
I already picked my house in Costa Rica when I retired
Really?
there.
I don't have land. My children's father has land there, near Punta Uva, just south of Puerto Viejo on the Caribbean coast.
I have not been down there. I've been on the other side. Like
the other side is very
Arenal,
there's Walmart
Tortuguero.
on the other side. Go to the Caribbean coast. You'll meet like a dude that's named Mars, who lives in a tree and will sell you weed, like right out of like the bus stop. There are horses that eat garbage and swim in the ocean. Like it is real.
Oh, that's hilarious.
The Caribbean coast, yeah. Limon, Puerto Viejo, Punta Uva, and then if you're like really adventurous, you're gonna get on a bus and you're gonna like drive like really fast with somebody who probably shouldn't have a license, and you're gonna go across a bridge into Panama and get on a boat forever next to a refrigerator. And yeah, Central America's fun. It's so fun. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send you stuff. I'll send you some random stuff. I won't be weird or creepy. I'll send you some.
Yeah, I got like one more question on my mind. You mentioned like parting out your board, and for me, I can. The funny thing is that I have two boosted boards now. The first one I bought straight from Boosted. The second one I bought. Well, the second one I actually pieced together from different board. People were selling replacement parts. I'm like, all right, I'll stock up on replacement parts, and one day I was just like, I have enough parts. Just make a new board. I'm gonna make a new board. And so, how would you think you would have felt if you needed to part out your board?
Honestly, it's kind of a mixed bag because I'm in a situation where I need a part that's not available, and if it's not available and I can't get it, and I have parts that it's kind of like organ donation.
Yeah, honestly. It really is.
Like that's like a little bit extreme, but it's kind of like if I have it and I can't use it and somebody else needs it, who am I to like sit on it? And I definitely wouldn't have like increase. I probably, honestly, to be completely honest with you, I probably would have just like given it away.
Could you repeat that?
I probably would have just given the parts away to people who need it. I'm not in a position to capitalize off of anything, especially after like what after my experience and like knowing how I know people that have loved bicycles. I've built the bike I understand what it's like to have a connection of yourself in an object, and people look at you weird, but we connect. So if I couldn't get this thing going, I would probably be more depressed than I am for a little bit, and then I would have nerded out on all the stuff. This would be like, okay, so Laura, you don't like electronics, you're smart. This is what you need to learn this. So I would have figured out. I mean, I can take it apart, but I would have figured out like what was needed, and I probably would have honestly just given the parts away to whoever needed them. There's like no way I could have sold it at all. Period. And if for some reason like the controller never shows up, I stand by this. Like I'll give parts away to people who need them because it's a great piece of equipment. Like the technology is great, but the subscribe to something, you invest in something, and then you get no support. Well, where is your support? That's in the people who believed in the things that we didn't do. Like this, we pick up the crumbs and do the best we can with what we have. And like new technology's going to come out, newer models, more affordable stuff. I don't think that Eastgate or anything is in its infancy, but it's definitely has a lot of ways to go. So I don't know, just sitting on stuff like that just doesn't feel right. And I'm not going to turn it into art. I'm going to turn the guitar into art though. But yeah, I don't think that I feel good making it at all. I would probably just like give it. It would suck. It would hurt. I would get a new board eventually. I was looking at the Backfire, Lipo. I don't know. I can't do a longboard because I live in the city, and I could, but I'm like a hood rat. So yeah, it would suck. It would hurt. I haven't had the board very long. It's like in really good shape, but I've like bonded with it. I named it. It's been through a lot, like a breakup and like self-esteem and like near-death experience. So there's no way that I could put a dollar sign on the battery or the trucks or whatever somebody needed. I think that I don't know that I would have been able to just like let it go complete. I think that it would be more valuable to somebody who needs this part or needs that part, and I could help more people that way. I thought about that. So yeah, if I can't write it again, I will make sure that it is donated. Breathes life into other people's happiness.
I suppose that's where the philanthropy angle comes in.
Yeah, I'm like the worst. I am like the worst business person. I have like started so many businesses. I'm a seamstress too. I just give everything away. Literally, like I've given my last like $5 away to a homeless person. I don't know how else to be. It's just who I am. I thank my grandmother for that. It's how I've always been. My kids are like this too. Like when they were younger, they're 14 and 11. I don't know, maybe that mom talks about their kids, but they're cooler than me, by the way. My 14-year-old's like pen pals with Joan Jett, and my 11-year-old is like an amazing artist. Like they're why I'm here. I had to make them. Just we had to have a rule before they would have play dates. You can't give this toy away. All of the things that are heirlooms and all the clothes that I've like sewn for you, they have to get packed away because my kids will give everything that they love away. It's just how we are. We're just like giving people, and I don't put a lot of value into material things. I don't really even watch TV. I have a computer, but I'm like eclectic, I guess. But it's just who we are. It's in our genes, our DNA. I don't know, but I'm a giver. I don't feel right. This is why I had a hard time being a nurse. Running an ICU, trying to give care to a patient, you have to spend more time writing down and documenting what you did than it took for you to do what you did. And so 12 hours turned into 14 hours really fast for me because I would wait to do my charting because I had to be there and present and give to a person what they needed. If that meant making an old lady a cup of tea because she's about to be a widow and nobody's told her yet, I'm going to do that and spend an hour doing that, and I'll stay late off the clock and do my charting later because she needs me. I don't know how else to be. It's who I am. My greatest character asset is also my biggest deficit. I give everything away. So, I don't know. I'm too old to change. I'm not going to change. But it is. I saw a lady. It was in January's instance. It was January this year. I was like really sick, and she was like walking near my kids' school. They're in a bilingual charter school. My kids are brighter than me, and they're fluent in Spanish. I thought that I would learn Spanish with them.
Not a chance.
No, they just know how to talk shit to my face, and I kind of know what they're saying, but not really. But this lady was like walking down the street by their school, no shoes. It's January, and a tank top. And I pulled over. I gave her the shoes off my feet of my favorite American Giant hoodie. Like I can't afford that again, but I gave that to her because that's like what you do. I would have lost sleep for like weeks wondering about her. At least she had shoes and a jacket. I had a car and home to go to. Yeah, I can elaborate. I don't know. Stay in touch. I'm a storyteller. You
I
fun
am
stories.
I am so glad I have so much footage to edit down. Like it
Really.
is if I'm not already if I'm not gonna be I knew I was gonna hit the 30-minute record limit. Like if my I just restarted the recording, so it's good.
Oh, okay.
If
Fine.
my like if I don't if I am not in tears by the time like I hang up, I will certainly be in tears by the time I edit this. And my camera
Okay.
over there is gonna prove it. And like I think the reason I gosh, it's as you said, like you're not a very material person, and yet like this stupid skateboard like sent you in like such a spiral, and I think that that really illustrates like the not only just how much e-skate means to people like me, but just people that like as I said, you're not that tech savvy, but like and you're more importantly, you're not a very material person, and yet you found something really special and something that's very material, but also very immaterial.
Yeah, that's like really fun. Oh, sorry. I used to be like PTA president. I'm like covered in tattoos now. Like that's what you do if you have a midlife crisis. So embrace it. Get a good tattoo artist and go on. I tend to like I find maybe it's just me, but I find connection in like weird stuff. Like so I've been like kind of laid up. My shoulder's still messed up. My neck still hurts. I put on clean clothes. You can't really tell because I'm not a fancy girl. Um, I can't have people come help me clean my house. Not that it's like bad, but things have meaning to me. There's like I have like an old Coca-Cola wooden rack, and it has like rocks and a locust that's like dried out, and like the first molt from a spider, and like a block that my kid chewed on when they were a baby, and um, a leaf, just like random stuff. And if that was on the floor, somebody just like sweep it up and throw it away. And so for me, like this isn't the lore show, but I aged out of foster care. I come from like a really rough background, and so I don't have like childhood pictures. I don't have family heirlooms. So I tend to put some kind of attachment into tangible things. I won't say material, but tangible things, because every time like I look at that rock, I remember, oh, that was the day we went to the river, and that was the day that my dog almost drowned, or oh, that block is the one that my kid cut her tooth in, so things create meaning. You know, they don't have to like mean everything, but they can create meaning and conjure up memories. And so this board, I just remember feeling all the feelings. I swear, forgive me, but all of the like, fuck you, dude, I don't need you. I can leave. I can go do my own thing. Or,
It's my show.
hey,
You can swear if you
security guard,
like.
I can't stay here, security guard. Catch me, bitch. Or, I just want to go get some coffee. My battery's dead on the car. I just want to go skate. Or, like, do you know what it's like to not have driven your car for like weeks and the battery is dead on your car? The battery's fine on the board, though. The battery in the board is good. That's why you gotta.
That has happened to us actually. Like during quarantine, we drove so infrequently. Like the battery in the car just died. Just
Yeah. I used to just like set out to like try to drain the battery. Like let's just like go. Like let's see what's gonna die first, the controller or the battery, and it's never happened. Somebody was telling me that like, oh, the belt drives, you can't kick push them. Like watch me. Oh, you totally can. It's fine. I mean the hub drive like that. Those are cool. I'm kind of branching out. I'm gonna nerd out a little bit. I've got a future fleet in my heart. I've got like a whole like station set up
I'm
inside the
planning
board. So
7 boards personally. I'm at
you've
2 out of 7.
you've 7.
No, I have 2, but like I'm
You've
planning on at least getting 5 more.
oh really? Yeah, you got like a pretend girlfriend. I got a few pretend.
No. It's like the Von Trapp children. You know.
What are you looking at? What's the next one?
That's a. I'll probably be building my own.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My gosh. Okay, so one last thing before we could talk for hours, but I think
You're fine.
for the sake of editing it down, one last thing, because I think that like we hit on a lot, and so coming back to like e-skate and leadership, like what's one thing that every e-skater should like especially like lone rider e-skaters, either because they're like literally the only e-skater in town, or because they just like riding alone, and they don't think they need help from anybody else. What would you want to say to them?
Um, definitely, like, be aware of your environment, for safety and for fun. Like know where the good patch of asphalt is, and like pick your side streets, and to stay safe and to enjoy your ride. Also, because again, like, this isn't the infancy of e-skate, but it's up and coming. So, like, nobody signs up to be a role model, but if we possibly can have some kind of future implications on our behavior, right? So, like, I joke about like flipping off the security guard at the mall. I'm not super proud of that. I know that guy, and I buy him coffee. But so, kind of be an ambassador, because there's a ton of obstacles from like regular skating. Like, you can't like grind. They put up barriers. So, attitude, and unlike a regular skateboard, you look like a regular skateboard. Cars don't realize that you have a motor. You can take the lane. I think that there's some responsibility that we
Mm.
have as far as how we interact with traffic, and how we interact, with our environment, whether that's for fun or for safety. And we definitely don't want to be assholes, or give any skating a bad name. The main thing for me, again, that I have come upon is people don't realize that there's a motor on it, and sometimes you can zoom past them, and that's cool. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's cool." You feel good about that. But also, some cars or motorcycles or even cyclists don't realize that you have the ability to stop or go, or you're going faster. They can't judge your speed, so there's a lot of being seen and understood before, like, that's an e-board, scoot over, because they can actually catch the light, kind of thing. So there's a lot of, it's not our job to educate anybody, and it's not our job to be like role models, but kind of it is.
Well,
That makes
I
sense. That's
rounded out by saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
right.
Yeah.
Because I really foresee the future of a lot of personal transportation devices, whether you're old, crunchy skater girl like me, like you want some throwback nostalgia to go get your coffee, or hey, you need to make the train, and like you live in an urban city. I think there's a lot of future in individual, personal, chargeable, transportation devices, and they're up and coming. There's a lot of scooters and bikes, and skateboards are always my heart. But if we don't make a good impression, then like there could be like some hindrance from people being jerks. Like, no, there's places where you can't ride your bike or skateboard, period. And that's like not what I foresee for this. I foresee like my kids, or my kids' being able to like get on their whatever it is in the future, and just zoom to school or zoom to whatever they want to do, without having to deal with a lot of obstacles that cars bring, and a lot of separation that cars bring. Yeah.
Sweet.
Sorry, I rambled.
No, it's great. It's a lot. It's a lot for me to. I might even just post this entire like 36-minute long conversation uncut as like a bonus scenes of this video.
Oh,
Because
important.
I'm gonna take like maybe 3 minutes from this. It's gonna be hard to get only 3 minutes.
The most important thing about skating, though, is you have to have like really good footwear.
Good footwear. Good. Yes.
I'm like on my phone. Yeah, you gotta have like good shoes. I mean, I can. I don't have like a TV or fancy stuff. I have like nice shoes. I got a skateboard. Those are my sins. Judge me.
Okay. Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Not a
Thank you so
problem. Not a problem. For the sake of like editing, do you want me to like keep your first
Take this
name,
black
blur
eye
out?
out. Can you get rid of that? I'm joking.
For the sake of editing, do you want me to like keep your first name, blur your last name, blur your entire name, keep
You know
first
what?
last name, do not
I'm
care?
totally fine with whatever you want to do.
Okay.
If I I if I give with both hands, right? That's when I do like my street work. People like don't give homeless people. Stay with me. I'll connect this. Don't give homeless people money because they're gonna buy drugs. Like if you're gonna give with both hands. Like don't give with expectations or limitations. So if I'm giving you gratitude, thank you, and a little bit of time to discuss this, and I'm consenting to you videoing it. Like do whatever you want with it, man. Both hands. Got it.
Heck
It's
yeah.
yours. Yeah. So if that homeless person goes and buys drugs with it, that's how they're meeting their needs in that moment that they need best, and my job to decide if that keeps them from degrading themselves and from like destroying somebody's property for a minute. I really don't care. If I'm going to give somebody $5, you're going to take the $5. You're going to do what you want with it. If I'm going to give you like my face and my dorky voice, do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great then. Tune in on Thursday around noon. So noon is going to be around 10 o'clock your time. I'm gonna
Okay.
like I am giving myself a tight deadline on this so
You're
that I can.
Hoosier.
Sorry.
Hoosier.
Hoosier. Sorry.
Hoosier, isn't that Indiana, Michelle? Hoosiers.
I know there's a tire company named Hoosier.
You don't even have an accent, but I've been talking to you, and you're like in Indiana. My accent. I worked really hard to get rid of my Kentucky accent.
Anyway, I'll
Anyways.
get the episode to you on Thursday.
Okay.
It's gonna be great. I'm gonna love it.
Okay. Thank you so much for everything that you do. If I can help at all in the future, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like randomly send you stuff in the mail.
Yeah, spicy food.
Yeah. So, yes, I will send you some New Mexico legit stuff.
All right.
Get ready.
All right.
Get a helmet.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So much love for you. You have no idea how much this means. You do, but it means a lot. It really does. It's like gonna help me.
It doesn't hurt to hear it again.
My life right now is BC and AC, before crash, after crash. This is like helping me figure out what I'm doing. So thank you. Have a good evening. Okay. Stay in touch.
Good night. Oh my god. That was such a good call. Did it hang up? Oh no, yes it did. This feels good. This is not documentary mode, in case you're wondering. This feels good. I don't have to tell you it feels good. It just does. That, and I can't wait to get that spicy food.